Alien commander tours human military academy and returns horrified. The command chamber is dimly lit, filled with tension as various alien commanders gather around a holographic display. At the head of the table stands General James, a tall figure with silver skin and sharp blue eyes that show years of battle experience. His face is full of shock as he looks at the holographic display, which shows a surprising new development on the galactic map. Other commanders exchange nervous glances. General James, in disbelief, his voice loud in the quiet room. It can't be true. Humanity, they're joining the war? The room goes silent. A wave of shock spreads through the leaders. Some have wide eyes, while others press their lips into thin lines as they try to process the news. Admiral Enther, a stocky alien with a ridged face and green skin, steps forward, his voice shaky. They've kept to themselves for so long. Why would they enter now? What could push them to do this? General James stares at the display, his eyes narrowed as if searching for answers in the images of human ships moving into coalition territory. He points to a section of the map where the first reports of humanity's entry appeared. Look at how they're moving. This isn't defensive. They're preparing for an attack. They're coming straight toward our front lines. This is planned. Admiral Rylo, a thin figure with pale, violet skin and golden eyes, shakes his head in disbelief. Humans? We've always seen them as a minor annoyance, stuck on their own world. They don't have the numbers or technology to matter. This must be a mistake. Commander Karan, an alien with glowing tattoos on his face and neck, lets out a short, nervous laugh. Maybe they're just playing at war, testing us. I doubt they know what they're getting into. General James remains quiet, his gaze fixed on the screen. His voice becomes serious. Underestimating them would be a huge mistake. Humans have a way of surprising us. Their history is filled with stories of their survival against impossible odds. And now they've chosen to enter our war. The tension grows in the room. A few commanders exchange worried looks, their confidence starting to fade as they consider humanity as a real threat. Admiral Enther shifts uncomfortably, his doubt turning into concern. Admiral Enther, nervously, but their technology isn't as advanced as ours. We have fleets that could easily overpower them. General James shakes his head, a small smile forming on his lips. Technology alone doesn't guarantee victory. Humans are known for their ability to adapt. We must be ready for anything. The holographic display zooms in on a fleet of human ships moving with precision. The alien commanders watch in growing worry as the humans advance, each movement deliberate. Commander Karan's face shows doubt and growing anxiety. Are we really giving them this much credit? They're just one species. How can they possibly disrupt a war that spans so many systems? General James turns to him, his eyes intense. Maybe they know something we don't. They wouldn't risk this lightly. If they've entered this conflict, they're ready. The room goes quiet again, each commander lost in thought. The air is thick with tension and uncertainty. General James scans the faces around him, sensing their reactions. He knows the seriousness of what they're witnessing. We must act quickly. We need to gather information on their fleet and understand what they can do. We cannot let our guard down, especially now. Admiral KSAR nods, her expression serious as the earlier disbelief fades away, replaced with urgency. I will send out reconnaissance drones to gather data. We need to know what we're facing before it's too late. Commander Morak, still skeptical, but now showing concern, speaks up. Agreed. If they are united and organized, we need to rethink our plans. This isn't just another battle. This could change everything. As the commanders begin to discuss strategies, the tension in the room remains high. General James watches them, aware that the stakes have never been greater. Humanity's unexpected entry into the war has shifted the balance of power. What have we overlooked in them? They've come to challenge us when we least expected it. The scene shifts to the holographic display, which zooms in on the human fleet. The vessels, once considered weak, now appear strong and ready for battle. The screen flashes warnings as alerts signal the imminent clash between the two forces. The room fills with a sense of dread as the reality sinks in. The alien commanders are left grappling with the weight of their mistakes and the realization that they might be facing an enemy unlike any they have encountered before. The atmosphere in the command chamber is tense, filled with a mixture of skepticism and unease. The holographic display shows the approaching fleet of human ships, their rugged forms contrasting sharply with the sleek, advanced vessels of the coalition. The alien commanders gather around the display, their expressions a mix of doubt and disbelief. General James stands at the front, arms crossed, observing the screen with a serious expression. These are the human ships we've heard about? They look like old cargo vessels. How can they pose any threat to us? Commander Morak, a stout alien with vibrant blue scales and an air of arrogance, leans forward, scoffing at the sight of the human fleet. Really? Those things? They're nothing but scraps. They can't possibly challenge our advanced technology. This is just a joke. Admiral KSAR, a slender alien with shimmering silver skin, glances at Morak with a mixture of frustration and concern. We shouldn't underestimate them. They may look simple, but we know they have a history of surprising their enemies. The commanders murmur among themselves, some nodding in agreement with KSAR, while others continue to express doubt. General James shifts his gaze back to the display, his brow furrowing as he studies the human fleet. Still, we cannot ignore the fact that they've chosen to engage in this war. There must be a reason for their sudden involvement. Commander RYLO, tall and thin with pale violet skin, shakes his head dismissively. What reason could they possibly have? They've always been a minor player in galactic affairs. They're not equipped to handle a conflict of this magnitude. General James steps closer to the holographic display, observing the human ships moving steadily toward their position. They might surprise us. Remember what happened when we underestimated them in the past. We must consider every possibility. The display zooms in on the human ships, showing their worn but functional designs. The alien commanders lean in closer, scrutinizing the images. Commander Karan, with intricate glowing patterns across his face, chimes in. Their ships may be old, but they seem to be moving with purpose. It's almost as if they're coordinated. The commanders exchange uneasy glances as they process Karan's words. Admiral Enther, who has been silent, finally speaks up, his voice tense. What if they've been preparing? Humans have a way of adapting and learning quickly. We cannot be too sure of our advantage. The room goes quiet as the weight of NTHAR's statement settles in. General James takes a deep breath, sensing the shift in atmosphere. We need to gather intelligence on their fleet. If they're serious about this, we can't afford to take any chances. Commander Morak rolls his eyes, still confident in their superiority. Gather all the intelligence you want. I still say those ships are no match for our fleet. We've faced far worse foes before. As Morak speaks, the holographic display updates to show the human fleet's approach becoming more tactical. The alien commanders watch, a mix of skepticism and curiosity in their eyes. Look at their formations. They're not just aimlessly rushing forward. They're moving in a coordinated manner, almost like they know what we're planning. General James narrows his eyes, realizing that this could be more serious than initially thought. This is not a simple matter. They might be playing a long game, and we cannot afford to be complacent. Commander RYLO looks uneasy, the tension palpable as the human fleet continues its approach. He shifts his weight, struggling to maintain his bravado. Even if they are coordinated, they still lack our technology. Their weapons and shields won't hold up against us. As the commanders debate, the holographic display zooms in on the human ships, showing their battle scars and worn-out designs. General James speaks, his voice heavy with realization. These ships may be old, but they carry the weight of experience. Humans have survived against impossible odds before. We must remember their history. The room falls silent again, each commander reflecting on the gravity of James's words. The tension grows as they realize they may be facing an enemy unlike any they've encountered before. So, what do? We can't just sit here and wait for them to reach us. General James takes a moment to consider their options, the gravity of the situation sinking in. We will prepare for their arrival, increase our defenses, and ready our fleets. If humanity has come to fight, we need to be ready for anything. The alien commanders nod, a newfound sense of urgency replacing their earlier skepticism. They understand that the situation has changed, and they must adapt to the unexpected threat. As the holographic display continues to show the human fleet advancing, the room fills with a mix of anticipation and dread, each commander preparing for the challenge ahead. The atmosphere in the command chamber is charged with anxiety and tension. The holographic display shows the human fleet moving closer to the coalition's defenses. General James stands at the front, his expression serious as he observes the movements of the human ships. The alien commanders are gathered around, watching intently, each one feeling the weight of what is about to unfold. Prepare for their arrival. We need to be ready for anything they might throw at us. The commanders nod, but there is a palpable sense of doubt lingering in the air. Admiral KSAR leans closer to the display, her face showing a mixture of determination and fear. They may look disorganized, but I can't shake the feeling they are hiding something. Their movements are too calculated. Suddenly, the holographic display flashes, showing multiple human ships launching precision strikes against the coalition's outer defenses. Bright explosions light up the screen, and the room erupts in alarm. What is happening? They're attacking. General James narrows his eyes, his expression hardening as he processes the rapid developments. Stay focused. We need to analyze their tactics. This is not just a random attack. They are targeting our key structures. The holographic display zooms in on the human ships, revealing a coordinated barrage of high-precision strikes. The alien commanders watch in disbelief as their defenses crumble under the onslaught. They're hitting us where it hurts. Our shields are failing. How can they do this with such accuracy? As more explosions fill the screen, Commander RYLO grips the table, his face pale with shock. We need to retaliate. Send our fighters to intercept them now. General James raises a hand, commanding silence as he studies the display. He notices the human ships moving with a level of coordination that exceeds anything he expected. We need to hold off our response for now. We have to understand what we're dealing with before we act. The holographic display shifts to show the human fleet executing complex maneuvers, dodging incoming fire with incredible precision. The alien commanders exchange worried glances, realizing the humans are more skilled than they had assumed. They're adapting quickly. We can't keep up with their movements. This is beyond anything we've encountered. The tension in the room escalates as the alien fleet tries to regroup. The holographic display shows several human ships deploying electronic warfare, jamming the coalition's communication systems and weapons. They're using electronic warfare. Our systems are going dark. We can't coordinate our defenses. General James clenches his fists, realizing the full extent of the threat they face. We need to switch to manual controls. Keep our communication open. We can't let them take complete control. As the alien commanders scramble to regain their footing, the human fleet continues to launch high-precision strikes. The display highlights the destruction of critical installations, and the atmosphere in the chamber shifts from panic to horror. They're dismantling us piece by piece. This is not just a battle, it's a massacre. General James takes a deep breath, his mind racing as he assesses the situation. This is a demonstration of their power. Humanity is not just fighting. They are showcasing their capabilities to intimidate us. The display shifts again, showing the human ships regrouping and preparing for another wave of strikes. The alien commanders stand in stunned silence, grappling with the realization that they are facing an opponent unlike any other. We need to withdraw. If we stay, we risk losing everything. General James turns to face Enter, his voice steady but filled with urgency. We cannot show weakness. We must regroup and hold our ground. If we retreat now, it will signal our defeat. The atmosphere is heavy with tension as the alien commanders absorb James's words. They know that their next actions will determine the outcome of this confrontation. But if we stay and fight, we could be destroyed. Look at what they've done already. General James looks at the display, watching as the human fleet prepares for another attack. His expression hardens with resolve. We will not back down. We will show them that the coalition will fight to the end. Prepare the fleet for a counteroffensive. The commanders nod, a sense of unity slowly forming among them as they realize they must face this challenge together. They may have underestimated humanity, but now they understand the stakes of the battle ahead. The holographic display shows the human fleet advancing again, ready to unleash another wave of attacks. The alien commanders brace themselves, knowing that they are about to face the full force of humanity's unexpected might. The atmosphere in the command chamber has shifted dramatically. The holographic display now shows the aftermath of humanity's latest attack. The human fleet, once underestimated, moves with confidence and precision, leaving destruction in their wake. General James stands at the front, his expression one of grim determination. The alien commanders are gathered around, their faces reflecting shock, fear, and a reluctant admiration for the humans' capabilities. They're executing maneuvers we've never seen before. This is not just random aggression. They're fighting with purpose. Commander Morak stands nearby, his face pale as he stares at the damage done to their fleet. The confidence he once displayed has vanished, replaced by unease. This is not what I expected. Their tactics, they're beyond anything we've dealt with. Admiral KSAR, her eyes wide as she studies the display, speaks with a tone of disbelief. They're coordinating their attacks flawlessly. It's as if they can anticipate our movements. We are losing control. General James nods, his gaze locked on the screen. He knows that the tide of the battle has turned, and the stakes are higher than ever. We must regroup and reassess our strategy. These humans are not the weaklings we thought. They've proven themselves as a serious threat. The holographic display shifts to show a human ship executing an advanced evasive maneuver, narrowly dodging incoming fire. The alien commanders watch, their expressions shifting from doubt to awe as they realize the skill involved. Look at that. They're moving as if they're connected. How can they be so effective with such outdated technology? As the commanders absorb this new reality, the display highlights another wave of attacks from the human fleet. The precision and timing are uncanny, and the alien leaders begin to recognize the humanity's unmatched skills in warfare. They've turned the battlefield into their advantage. We cannot deny their strength any longer. General James feels the weight of their situation. He knows they must confront this shift in tone with honesty. We've underestimated them from the beginning. Their resilience and ability to adapt have made them formidable opponents. The chamber grows quiet, the air thick with tension as the alien leaders contemplate their next move. The realization that humanity is evolving into a true threat hangs heavily over them. Commander Morak, still trying to maintain his composure, clenches his fists. What kind of warriors are these humans? They fight with a ferocity that we didn't expect. General James turns to face Morak, his expression one of understanding. They fight for survival. That gives them a strength we cannot easily match. We must respect that. As the display continues to show the human fleet coordinating their attacks, the alien commanders are left in stunned silence, grappling with the weight of their previous beliefs. If we continue to see them as inferior, we will pay dearly for it. We need to change our approach. The room fills with murmurs of agreement. The alien leaders begin to discuss how they can adapt to this new threat. General James watches them, sensing a shift in their understanding of the situation. We must develop new strategies that take their skills into account. This is no longer just a battle of numbers. It's a battle of wits. The holographic display shifts once more, showcasing a human ship leading a coordinated strike against a group of alien vessels. The humans execute their tactics with precision, and the alien ships fall under the assault. This isn't just warfare. It's a display of their mastery. We must learn from this. The realization settles over the commanders like a heavy weight. They understand that they are facing an enemy who has evolved in ways they never anticipated. Let's prepare for a counteroffensive. We need to show them that we won't back down, but we also need to be smarter about our approach. As the commanders mobilize to discuss their new plans, the air is thick with a mix of fear and determination. The shift in tone from skepticism to respect has set the stage for a new understanding between the coalition and humanity. The final image on the display shows the human fleet regrouping for another attack, their movements confident and assured. The alien commanders stand together, aware that they must adapt or face defeat. The atmosphere in the command chamber is tense, filled with a mixture of fear and respect as the alien commanders grapple with the reality of humanity's unexpected prowess in warfare. The holographic display shows the aftermath of their latest encounter, highlighting the devastating effectiveness of the human fleet. In the midst of this tension, the doors slide open, revealing Captain Elias, a human officer dressed in a sharp military uniform. He steps inside with a calm confidence that stands in stark contrast to the anxious alien leaders. I understand you have many questions about humanity's entry into this conflict. The alien commanders turn to face him, their expressions a mix of curiosity and skepticism. General James gestures for Elias to continue, his eyes narrowed with interest. Your forces have shown remarkable skill in combat. We didn't expect this level of capability. How do you explain your sudden proficiency? Captain Elias stands tall, his expression emotionless yet focused. He scans the room, taking in the tense faces of the alien leaders before speaking. Humanity has always adapted to challenges. Our history is filled with conflicts that forced us to grow stronger. We learn quickly from our experiences. The commanders listen intently, their skepticism starting to fade as they absorb Elias's words. Admiral KSAR, with her silver skin shimmering under the lights, speaks up, her voice laced with caution. But how can you remain so detached in the face of war? We fight for honor for our people. Don't you feel anything? Elias meets her gaze without flinching, his voice unwavering. Emotion can cloud judgment in battle. We understand that to succeed we must prioritize strategy over feelings. Our focus is on survival and efficiency. Commander Morak, still struggling with his previous assumptions, interjects with a hint of disbelief. You talk of efficiency, yet you risk everything by engaging in a war that could annihilate your species. What makes you think you can win? Elias remains unfazed, his demeanor calm as he responds. We believe in our ability to adapt. Humanity has faced extinction before and survived. This time will be no different. We've studied not only our own tactics, but yours as well. The alien commanders exchange nervous glances, a mix of fear and respect growing in the room. Admiral Rylo's voice quivers slightly as he speaks. You speak of strategy, yet your ships are outdated. How can you compete with our advanced technology? Captain Elias takes a moment before responding, his expression serious. It's not just about technology. Our strength lies in our determination and our willingness to innovate. We have learned to use what we have to its fullest potential. In war, adaptability is often more powerful than advanced weapons. The room falls silent as the commanders reflect on Elias's words. General James steps forward, his curiosity piqued. What do you mean by use what you have? How can you turn weaknesses into strengths? Elias gestures to the holographic display, which now shows clips of human ships executing strategic maneuvers with precision. For instance, our smaller ships may lack the firepower of your cruisers, but they are fast and maneuverable. We can outflank larger vessels and exploit their blind spots. The alien commanders lean in, their expressions shifting from skepticism to intrigue as they begin to understand the human approach. Admiral KSAR narrows her eyes, processing the information. So you rely on tactics rather than brute strength? Exactly. In our previous conflicts, we learned that overconfidence can lead to defeat. Our strategy has always been to exploit weaknesses in our enemy's defenses while minimizing our own vulnerabilities. Commander Morak, still visibly shaken by this new perspective, crosses his arms defensively. And what of your losses? Surely you have suffered setbacks. How do you recover from those? Elias's expression remains calm, reflecting the confidence of a seasoned leader. Losses are part of war. Each setback teaches us valuable lessons. We analyze what went wrong and adjust our tactics accordingly. It's this relentless pursuit of improvement that keeps us competitive. The alien commanders exchange looks, a newfound respect emerging as they begin to comprehend the depth of humanity's resolve. Admiral Enther leans forward, his curiosity evident. So you're saying that your ability to learn from defeat makes you stronger? Exactly. We view challenges as opportunities. If we can learn to adapt and evolve, we can face any enemy, no matter how powerful. The room fills with a mixture of admiration and apprehension as the alien leaders realize that humanity's approach to warfare is unlike anything they have encountered. The confidence of Captain Elias contrasts sharply with their previous expectations. What do you propose we do now? How can we move forward in this conflict? Elias considers the question, his expression thoughtful. We should open lines of communication. Understanding each other's strategies may help us find common ground, perhaps even avoid unnecessary bloodshed. Admiral KSAR looks at the display, contemplating the future with a mix of hope and fear. If humanity is willing to negotiate, we must consider it. But we also need to prepare for any possible outcomes. The alien commanders nod in agreement, their minds racing as they process the implications of Elias's words. The realization that they face a determined and adaptable enemy shifts their perspective dramatically. Let's prepare for the next phase. We need to understand this human strategy if we're to face them as equals. As the commanders begin to strategize, Captain Elias stands back, observing the shift in their attitudes. He knows that this moment could change the course of the war, as both sides navigate the complexities of conflict. The scene fades, leaving behind the sound of urgent discussions as the alien commanders prepare to face the challenges ahead, now armed with a deeper understanding of their unexpected adversaries. The atmosphere in the command chamber is thick with tension and dread. The holographic display shows the chaotic battlefield, with human ships executing flawless maneuvers that leave the coalition fleet scrambling to respond. General James stands at the front, his expression one of grim determination. The alien commanders watch in shock as the humans decisively turn the tide of the battle. Hold your positions. We cannot afford to falter now. The display highlights the human fleet's coordinated attack, showing their ships weaving in and out of enemy fire with remarkable agility. Each strike is precise, targeting key coalition vessels. The alien commanders exchange looks of disbelief, their confidence shattered. They're dismantling us. Look at their formations. They're working together as if they've fought this battle 100 times before. Commander Morak, once so confident in their superiority, now stands pale and shaken, his eyes wide with fear. This cannot be happening. We have always been the strongest. How are they doing this? As more explosions light up the display, the realization sinks in for the alien leaders. The human fleet is not only matching their power, they are outclassing them at every turn. This is no accident. Humanity has learned from its past and is using that knowledge against us. The holographic display shifts to show a human ship leading an assault on a group of alien cruisers. The humans execute their tactics with remarkable precision, and the alien ships begin to falter under the relentless assault. They're taking us apart piece by piece. We can't withstand this much longer. The alien commanders scramble to regain control, but the human fleet continues to advance, their movements fluid and confident. The sound of alarms fills the chamber as critical damage reports flood in. We need to retreat. We can't afford to lose any more ships. General James feels the weight of their situation. He knows they are on the brink of total defeat. We cannot show weakness. If we retreat now, it will signal our surrender. We need to hold our ground. The alien fleet, once a powerful force, is now in disarray. The holographic display shows a human ship leading the charge, its crew executing maneuvers with a determination that sends chills down the spines of the alien leaders. They're not just fighting, they're demonstrating their power. This is a complete shift in the battle. The realization hits the alien commanders hard as they watch the human fleet systematically dismantling their defenses. A sense of despair settles in the chamber as they understand the full implications of their situation. How did we let this happen? We've underestimated them at every turn. General James watches as the human fleet executes one final coordinated strike, taking out a key alien cruiser with devastating efficiency. The impact shakes the room as the reality of their defeat becomes undeniable. We must consider our options. If we continue to fight, we risk total annihilation. As the human fleet continues its relentless assault, the alien commanders exchange fearful glances. They know they are facing an enemy that has changed the rules of warfare. We cannot allow this to continue. If we fight to the end, we will lose everything. General James stands firm, his expression resolute. Then we must send a message of surrender. We need to regroup and find a way to survive this. The alien commanders look at each other, realizing that their previous confidence has crumbled. With heavy hearts, they nod in agreement, understanding that their only option is to submit. We will send the signal. We must ensure the safety of our remaining forces. As they prepare to transmit their message of surrender, the tension in the room shifts. The alien leaders feel the weight of their defeat settling heavily upon them, knowing that they have underestimated humanity in a way that will not be forgotten. The display shows the human fleet slowing its advance, the crews aboard the ships unaware of the surrender that is about to take place. A sense of finality fills the room as the alien commanders prepare to make their announcement. This is not the end, but a chance to learn. We must study this defeat and ensure it never happens again. As the holographic display shows the human fleet regrouping, the alien commanders prepare their message. The reality of their surrender hangs in the air, a stark reminder of the power humanity has demonstrated. What have we done? The chamber fills with a heavy silence as the alien commanders transmit their surrender, the sound echoing throughout the room. The moment marks a significant turning point, one that will change the course of the war forever. The command chamber is dimly lit, filled with an eerie silence that hangs heavily in the air. General Corvo stands alone at the front, gazing at the now empty holographic display where moments ago the human fleet had showcased its overwhelming power. The alien commanders, still grappling with the shock of their defeat, murmur amongst themselves in subdued voices. Corvo's expression is a mixture of awe and fear as he reflects on the recent events. What have we witnessed? He takes a deep breath, his mind racing as he recalls the chaos of the battle. The human ships had moved with a grace and precision that defied their appearances. Their tactics had been sharp, and their resolve unwavering. He knows that everything they believed about warfare has been turned upside down. These humans are not the weak creatures we thought them to be. They've shown us their true strength. As the room settles into silence, The other alien commanders slowly turn their attention to Corvo, sensing that he is about to address them. He takes a moment to gather his thoughts, his gaze fixed on the now still holographic display, which serves as a stark reminder of their defeat. We must confront the reality of what has happened here. Humanity has changed the rules of warfare. They've demonstrated a level of skill and adaptability that we underestimated completely. Admiral KSAR, her expression serious, nods in agreement. Their ability to learn and adapt so quickly is unsettling. We've always relied on our technology and strength, but they've shown us that intelligence and strategy can be just as powerful. Corvo turns to her, his voice steady but filled with a sense of urgency. We must not only study their tactics, but also understand their mindset. They fight with a determination born from survival. This gives them an edge that we cannot ignore. Commander Morak, who had once been so confident, now looks pensive, reflecting on his previous arrogance. I've spent my life believing that our species was the pinnacle of power. Yet, in a matter of days, we've been humbled by these humans. General Corvo steps forward, his voice carrying the weight of leadership. This is a critical moment for us. We must learn from this defeat. If we do not, we risk becoming obsolete in the galaxy. The alien commanders exchange thoughtful glances, the gravity of Corvo's words resonating with them. The realization that they must adapt is sinking in. Admiral Rylo speaks up, his voice filled with concern. But what if humanity continues to evolve? What if they become an unstoppable force? Corvo looks out into the distance, pondering the implications of his next words. That is the fear we must acknowledge. Humanity has a history of rising from the ashes of defeat. They are relentless. If we do not respect their potential, we will face even greater challenges. As the room falls silent, each commander contemplates the future. Corvo's expression shifts from one of concern to one of determination. We must build alliances and gather intelligence. We must understand the humans, not just as foes, but as potential allies. In this galaxy, we can no longer afford to see ourselves as superior. Admiral KSAR nods, her eyes shining with a mix of fear and hope. If we can learn to coexist, we may find that we can harness our strengths together. Perhaps they could be valuable allies rather than adversaries. General Corvo allows himself a small smile, seeing the flicker of possibility in her words. Exactly. We need to reach out to communicate. If humanity has learned anything from this conflict, it's the importance of cooperation. As the discussion continues, Corvo reflects on the implications of humanity's entry into the war. He feels a mix of awe and fear, understanding that this encounter has reshaped their perception of the galaxy. The thought of humanity's potential sends shivers down his spine. What kind of warriors are these humans? Their capacity for growth and adaptation is unlike anything we've faced before. The other commanders watch him, sensing the shift in his demeanor. They, too, begin to understand that this battle is not just about victory or defeat, but about evolution. The camera focuses on General Corvo's face, his expression thoughtful as he considers the future. The sound of urgent discussions fills the room as the alien commanders formulate plans to engage with humanity, moving from fear to cautious hope.